of Churchill Downs proudly present the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby, presented by Woodford Reserve. Please rise as the University of Louisville Band and Cardinal Singers perform My Old Kentucky Home.
All of the traditions here at Churchill Downs. The biggest day of the year in Louisville, Kentucky. Riders up, jockeys are on the horses, and now it is time for the post parade for all 19 horses in Derby 151. We start with the one Citizen Bull, Bob Baffert's first Kentucky Derby horse in 4 years, the 2-year-old champ with Martin Garcia in his first Derby in a decade. The 2, Neo Equos, 2-time winner, all 7 starts in Florida. Luis Saez with his 12th try to win the Derby. Trainer is Safi Joseph. The 3, Randy, is Final Gambit.
He went last to first in his last start in the Jeff Ruby Stakes at 15-1. He's 17-1 right now. Trainer Brad Cox won yesterday's Kentucky Oaks with good cheer.
The 4, Scratch, so we move on to the 5, an American Promise.
He has 2 lifetime wins, including the Virginia Derby in his last race. So trainer, 89-year-old trainer Wayne Lucas, expect this horse to be fairly close early.
Admire Daytona, the 6, based in Japan, won the UAE Derby in Dubai. Christophe Lemaire, his 3rd Kentucky Derby, all on Japanese-based horses. 7, Luxor Cafe.
Back-to-back Japanese. Look at the odds. 8-1. Bettors perhaps gravitating toward his 5-length win in his last start in Japan, the largest winning margin in the final prep of any horse in the field.
Then you have the favorite, the 8, Journalism. Won 4 or 5 starts, including the Santa Anita Derby, 2nd Kentucky Derby for trainer Michael McCarthy and Umberto Rispoli. The 9, Burnham Square, deep closer, ridden by the man who made a run on the rail last year, Brian Hernandez Jr. The horse has won 3 of his last 4 starts, including the Bluegrass Stakes. That was last month. The 10, Grande, was a scratch, so Jerry the 11 and Flying Mohawk.
He's got 2 lifetime wins, both on the turf and most recently 2nd in the Jeff Ruby Stakes on synthetic. He's a deep closer, and his best chance is if there's a fast early pace.
A little more speed. The 12, East Avenue, named after a street right by Saratoga Racecourse. Won his first 2 starts, none since, though. One of 2 Godolphin hopes of winning their first Kentucky Derby. Publisher, the 13.
Another stretch runner, good 2nd in the Arkansas Derby. Steve Asmussen, Hall of Fame trainer, looking for his first Derby win. Publisher looking for his first win of any kind.
Tiztastic has earned the most money of the 19 horses, winner of the Louisiana Derby, Hall of Fame jockey and trainer. You just mentioned it, Steve Asmussen, 0 for 26 in the Kentucky Derby. Jerry, the 15 is Render Judgment.
With only 1 lifetime win, he probably deserves to be a long shot. He's trained by Kenny McPeak, who won last year's Derby with Mystic Dan. We saw him in the paddock earlier.
Last-minute repairs for the 16 in Cole Battle. 5 wins from 8 starts. 3rd in the Arkansas Derby for Lonnie Briley, who at 72 makes his Kentucky Derby training debut. 17, America's Pick, Sandman. Come from behind winner of the Arkansas Derby. Could bring a first Kentucky Derby to Hall of Fame trainer Mark Cassidy and jockey Jose Ortiz. The 18 Sovereignty, Randy.
The Florida Derby runner-up, owned by Powerful Godolphin, the champion owner in America 5 straight years, but which has never won a Kentucky Derby.
The 19 Chunk of Gold.
He's only got one win, but 3 seconds in his 4 career starts. One of those seconds was in the Louisiana Derby last out, coming from way back. Expect the same thing today.
Next to him is the 20 Owen Almighty. 3 wins, but questions about the distance, but earned the points to get in for the Flying Dutchman Racing program. So giving it a shot here. And last horse in the field, only 4 races. This is Baeza, but second in the Santa Anita Derby. John Sheriff's at age 79 goes for his second Kentucky Derby win. You can feel the energy inside this venue. Over 100,000 fans. Brian Hernandez on Burnham Square, looking to become the first jockey in a decade to go back-to-back in the Derby. Martin Garcia's had a trying few months off the track today, hoping to hand trainer Bob Baffert for record-breaking 7th Derby with Citizen Bull. Fabian Pratt, one of the best in the business, made the late switch to Baeza, who may just be the biggest challenger to this man. 36-year-old Italian Umberto Rispoli. And the favorite in journalism, the 151st Kentucky Derby is next.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker?
You cannot follow directions. Get it without your chair.
151st Kentucky Derby is here at last. A timeless race, granting them but one shot at a priceless reward.
It is one of the greatest events in sports. The Kentucky Derby from Louisville, Kentucky. Thankful for that photo technology. You would not be able to bring you these pictures without it. That three-way photo finish. Just 1 year ago, our official attendance, I said it was over 100,000. Underestimated it a bit. 147,406 in the building at Churchill Downs to witness history just moments from now. The track is wet, it's sloppy, but that is what's up for grabs. The winner's circle used one time every year at Churchill Downs, and that time is fast approaching. One final check of the odds, the 19 horses who have a chance at history. Your favorite is journalism, 7-2. Sandman, the second choice. The Japanese-based horse Luxor Cafe at 8-1. But as we have seen in the past, an 80-1 long shot can win this race. It is time to go through some of the top competition. Randy Moss, Jerry Bailey. We'll start with the favorite, 7-2 odds in journalism.
He seems to have held his composure like most of them over here. He looked great this week training, so that means he shipped well. He's so tactical. He can do everything, anything a jockey wants him to do in terms of position. What Umberto Rispoli, his jockey, has to be very aware of is how fast they are going early or slow. I expect it to be fast. It's easy to get sucked in too close to a hot early pace, and if that happens, the horses usually slow down in front of you far too early, and you end up making the lead too soon. So race aware.
A couple days ago, Baeza was not even in the field. Now, one of the top choices.
He was second in the Santa Anita Derby. Right now, he's the sixth choice in the betting at 14-1. He's second in our order because Jerry and I both consider him the second best 3-year-old in America behind only journalism. An illustrious family. His half-brother Mage won the Derby in 2023. His half-brother Dornock won the Belmont last year, 2024. The outside post, trainer, owner, jockey, don't mind it whatsoever.
One of the many questions in this Derby is what will the pace be like early on? Will it be very, very fast? Set up for a closer like the 18 in Sovereignty.
Yes, I think it will be. Sovereignty has the advantage of having already won over this racetrack at Churchill Downs last fall as a 2-year-old. It wasn't sloppy, but it was Churchill Downs. He's fairly tactical. He's the kind of horse that starts slow early, but can make a middle move and get himself in position for that late final kick.
Another deep closer, Sandman, currently going off at 5-1.
Yeah, big surprise, I think, that he's that low of a price. Social media influencer Griffin Johnson and all his followers probably making this horse the darling of social media, but he also will benefit from a fast early pace from well behind.
How surprised are you to see the 8-1 odds next to Luxor Cafe?
A little bit surprised, but the Japanese almost won it last year with Forever Young. He had a 5-length win in his last race, second largest margin of victory. I think I said the most, behind only American Promise. He's for real.
So we are just about ready to load the most unique starting gate in all of horse racing. The shot from high above. Some of the most famous faces in horse racing history are in the building right now. The great D. Wayne Lucas, coach, American Promise, trying for another Derby win. Last time he did it was 1999. Bob Baffert, back after a 3-year ban, has a chance. On the rail makes it more difficult with Citizen Bull. John Sheriffs drawn into the field. Baeza, one of the top choices. And Michael McCarthy, been through a lot this past year, has the favorite in the Kentucky Derby. You can see how he's feeling right now.
Watch the 1 and the 12, right? Citizen Bull from the rail, East Avenue from post 12. The pace could get pretty quick.
With the call of Derby 151. Let's get it up to Larry Comas.
All right, Ahmed, just a few more to go in. Flying Mohawk has moved into the starting gate. Owen Almighty taking his spot. He's number 20, and that leaves just the 21, Baeza, to complete the line here under Flavian Pratt. Baeza steps forward and in. They're all in line. We're ready for the start. They're off. in the Kentucky Derby. Journalism is in a little bit of traffic early on here, but he came out of the gate okay. Citizen Bull and Neo Equos, as expected, to the front, but they've come well off the rail. And these two are setting the pace with Owen Almighty to the outside. East Avenue is away running in fourth. American Promise is fifth and down on the inside. Then Admire Daytona. Burnham Square is closer today. He's down on the rail, only about 5 lengths off the lead. Then Chunk of Gold. Journalism is saving ground into that turn. He's in the middle of the pack as Cold Battle goes up on the far outside with Rendered Judgment and Flying Mohawk. Then comes Publisher Baeza to the outside. Down toward the rail, Japan's Luxor Cafe leads Sovereignty. Tistastic and Sandman are next. And Final Gambit is the trailer as they race past this half mile in 46.23 seconds. So the pace is honest enough, set by the Baffert runners, Citizen Bull, and Neo Equos is pressing it on the outside. American Promise together with Owen Almighty, third and fourth. Break another 2.5 to East Avenue in fifth. Burnham Square is sixth on the inside. Brian Hernandez has him down on the rail like he did with Mystic Dan last year. They're about 6 lengths off the lead as they race for the far turn. Citizen Bull on the inside. Neo Equos on the outside. These two right together on the lead. American Promise comes under pressure. Owen Almighty is fourth by 2.5. Chunk of Gold is fifth. Trying to get involved now with 5 lengths to make up. Meanwhile, we look back for Journalism. He's been swung to the outside by Umberto Rispoli, and he's picking off horses one by one on the far outside. Neo Equos is the leader at the top of the stretch. Journalism is on the move as they turn for home, and Sovereignty is coming with him on the outside. The two of them go right by with a furlong to run. Journalism and Sovereignty, nose to nose, down to the last 16th of a mile. Sovereignty has taken the lead. Journalism is second toward the inside. Baeza is third, but it will be Sovereignty to rule the Kentucky Derby. Journalism and Baeza were next. Final Gambit was fourth. The final time was 2:02.31 seconds.
We wondered how this race would set up. Fast early pace. It was. Setting up for a closer. Trained by Bill Mott. Sovereignty, your Derby 151 winner.
Back early, made a slight middle move as he's accustomed to doing at times. Looked like he was following Journalism around the turn, around horses about 4 wide, and then the race was on through the stretch. It was Journalism and Sovereignty, neck and neck, head and head. In the final 100 yards, Sovereignty proved the best.
The first Kentucky Derby winner for Godolphin and Sheikh Mohammed, who's been ruling American racing in the Eclipse Awards lately. The second for Bill Mott, but the first one was by disqualification with Country House in 2019. Now he gets to experience winning the Derby for real the first time.
Junior Alvarado.
His first, yes.
Did not affect him, did not affect the horse.
Journalism, the favorite, ran well. Baeza was right behind him in third, just like the Santa Anita Derby, except Sovereignty loves Churchill Downs and just improved past those two.
Yeah. Journalism had no problem. Had a good inside trip in the first turn, crept up in the far turn, 3 wide trip, most of it, and had every chance in the world to outrun Sovereignty and couldn't do it through the stretch.
Stretch runner, stretch runner, stretch runner, stretch runner. Top 4 is Final Gambit. Fills out the superfecta, but it's all about Sovereignty.
Peace, everyone.
22-46, fast pace.
Citizen Bull doing what he needed to do, got out front early, but that pace just too fast.
The best race of Sovereignty's life before this was here at